Hi, my name is Nyan Soe. I'm from Myanmar and I have been in Singapore for almost 12 years. I only start my artistic journey in Singapore because I was study chemistry in Myanmar, and after then, but I have interest in art, but I don't really have so-called like resource or where I should look for what's the art about in Myanmar during that time. It was like almost like 15 years ago. So, and then after that I came to Singapore to work. Then during the time that when I'm working here, then I start to do a research about what is about art and just an art school in Singapore. And then after 2 years of working, then I decided to join NAFA and major in sculptures. That's how I started my artist journey in Singapore. I have been experimenting with a lot of medium when I was a student at NAFA, and I did stone carving, wood carving, metal welding, assemblage, and mixed media. During the time, I just tried to experiment with all the material as much as possible to understand the material properties and the form that it can carry. I remember my studio was a mess with all the material that I collected and all the things that I make, small things, sculpture that I make, and all over my tables and on the shelves. Before I enrolled to NAFA, I already decided I want to study sculptures, right? But but the whole the kind of confirmation come when I really come into my second year, right? When I in touch with all the materials that I am interested with, and I think that that's something that I want to do like for life. I think after I graduate from NAFA, I'm still making sculptures. But it's in a more smaller scale because during my school time, I have a space and resources and facility to make a big sculptures, right? But after the graduate, you know, you don't have really much studio space, so I changing to a smaller sculpture, and I changing my medium to like clay, resins, or some ready-made object also, and also I'm using some kind of sometimes I'm using the gold foil. And also I approach other art making discipline like printmakings and Chinese silk carvings. I think the theme that I'm working on is about city and the mountains, right? I'm still working on that theme since 2017, 2018, right? So I'm still working on the city and mountains. I'm from a small town in Myanmar which is surrounded by the mountain. So every year I go back once or twice. Then I have to go back there, then I come back. So this kind of whole process make it feel like a dream, right? Going back and coming back to work. So it's this contrast sort of twisted the realities and make it feel like a dream. So in my work, I'm trying to show that kind of memory between these two, the intertwining of the memory between the two places, the past and the present, and the struggle that I face in the city. The artwork that I will present for this exhibition is a shell with a lot of small sculptures on it. The shells I constructed a shell on top of a used bench, and then I use the shell to divide them into different sections. So on each of the sections, I would add in another shell to create a space in between the space. So after I constructed the shell, I will make a lot of small sculptures and place it on top. The sculpture are made up of all sorts of material like ceramic, wood, marble, resins, and rattan, metals, and watercolor papers and other materials. But the majority of it will be made of ceramics with different firing technique like raku firing, sawdust firing, and some are fired in the electric kilns. I can't remember how many items are on the shelf. I think it's more than 100 items in total. And I have been placing it and taking it out and moving from one space to another space and how to group them together. And also other than the shelves, I also have a standing light and a bench, and it will place in front of the works. So the height of the bench is the height of my bed where I used to sit and look at this work and think about it a lot. From the material is also the struggle that I think I have in the city, right? Because I've been moving from my hometown place to place, and that kind of migration from one place to another place, and the struggle that we face, and that kind of struggle that to go back and come back, that kind of from where you are, right? I think from my work itself, I think it's a kind of struggle that I think the audience might feel that kind of contrast between this very natural organic mountain with a very stiff kind of buildings and organic shape. The title of my writing is Making of Something. So basically this is the title of the folder that I use to put all the sculptures that I make. Then I try to categorize them under making of something. This writing is more like my own personal reflections on why I have been making sculptures and the investigating on the making process, right? And what are the things involved. So it includes two parts. One part is the first part is the hand, right? Because the second part is the material. For the first part, the hand, so I think the hand is a living tool that we are born with. The second part about the writing is about the material, right? The material that we are using has to be in a workable state, right? For example, the clay has to be soft enough to throw onto the wheel, right? And the clay has to be dry enough even to do some carving. So you have to understand the materials. I enjoy the process of making because I think in the making I can feel my sense of touch and I can feel the material that I am interacting with. So it keeps all my focus and attention on the present moments of I'm interacting with the materials. I think I'm very honored to be part of the exhibitions.